Hello, and welcome to another episode of Fibre Mates. My name is Gay. I'm a knitting technical editor based in Melbourne, and this podcast is where I share my love of knitting, my enthusiasm about the Australian fibre industry, and generally my makes. Before I get started, I'd like to acknowledge the traditional owners of the land on which I am recording, the Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nation, and pay my respects to their elders past and present. Today's video is going to be a haul. That's it. It is a haul video of all of the beautiful yarn that I brought back from the Australian Sheep and Wool Show, which is held every year in Bendigo in the state of Victoria here in Australia. For those of you who might not know about the show, it is a paddock to product show that showcases the wool industry, the sheep farming. There are sheep competitions, fleece competitions, dog trials. In addition to that, there's like an entire trade show for farm equipment that happens there. And my favorite part, although I do love the sheep and the dog trials, don't get me wrong, is the fiber and yarn market. It is typically referred to as Bendigo. So if you hear people saying, I'm going to Bendigo this year, that's the Australian Sheep and Wool Show. And I went this year with a core group of women that I've been going to the show with for several years now. And we had a few people also join us this year for the first time. So that was really fun. And we all stayed in a house together for a few nights and just had so much laughter and inspiration and joy come out of this weekend. We refer to it as Bendiglo, and now we've got a new nickname for it called Friendigo, which both of which I think are way better than some of the other nicknames that are given to Bendigo. All right, so if you don't like a haul video, then this video is not for you. I'll talk about some of the plans that I have for my yarn because almost everything I purchased does have plans. And if you don't like haul videos, I have a bunch of other videos that are just talking about knitting or interviews, so check out the channel and those videos. But now, on to the haul. The first yarn that I'll talk about is I actually purchased on Thursday. We drove up Thursday afternoon and got to Bendigo Woolen Mills before it closed because they released new colors of Woollen, which is their Corriedale, 100% Corriedale yarn, which I love. I made my book club cardigan out of it. I finished that a few months ago, and I was so excited because this color is, look at it, is just 100% my color. I love this color. It's called Kangaroo Paw, and I bought this. My friend Emina from Stitches and Swings bought this, and then I think we started a trend because everyone in the house came out with a sweater quantity of this color. And last year we decided to do a buddy knit where we would all knit the same sweater but in different yarns. This year we are flipping it around so that everyone is making the sweater of their choice but in this yarn. And we're calling it the Paw Along. The Paw Along. So if you've got some kangaroo paw, feel free to join in the fun. So once we decided to do this yarn is 100% Corriedale. It's DK weight. It has really nice meterage at 400 meters per 200 grams, which makes it a pretty heavy DK weight. It is superwash, so I anticipate that there will be some stretch or some growth in it. So when I swatched, well, I barely swatched, but I have an idea of how this yarn will react from, I've actually made another sweater. My Kookaburra sweater is in the Woollen as well. So I have an idea of how it will react both with the addition of Mohair and held on its own. So we decided to do DK sweaters, and I did a search on Ravelry for DK sweaters and found that there are over 30,000 patterns. I made it to page 25 before I thought, well, I can either pick one or keep looking, and I found one that I was really drawn to. So I have picked out sweater 31 by My Favorite Things. I love the simplicity of the cables, and my favorite detail of this sweater is how the cables transcend the neck. We all know I love a high neck sweater, I love a turtleneck, and this I think is going to be a perfect sweater for me. It brings the color right up to my face, which I think this is really one of my go-to colors. I'm really excited. I've already started. I've got it here. I've done a bit of modifications only in terms of the needle size to suit how I want the fabric to be and the size. So that's it so far. I'll do another episode on that project as it comes about. Purchase number 1, Bendigo Woolen Mills Woollen. Say that 8 times fast, right? In Kangaroo Paw. Love this color. Normally I would do some notes before I start recording so that I have some kind of semblance of order in what I'm presenting to you. I haven't done that today, so we're gonna go just a bit random. I hope that's okay. The next purchase that I was really excited about is this. It's the Yuruga Plains. It's blowing out over there, so maybe you can, I'll just hold the color up here. That's pretty true to color. It is their 4-ply 100% merino non-superwash yarn. I bought a sweater quantity of this to make the Strea sweater by Andrea Mowry, and I've already got a start on that I'm pretty excited to show. And here it is. How good do those little color pops look? It is, oh, that's the wrong side. Here's the right side. It's half fisherman's rib cardigan, and oh, look at the little increases are showing up really well there. I'm super excited to make this sweater because I'm using up the leftovers from my Radvent blanket. And sorry about the noise. Here they are, colors. And I've got enough, I think, because these stripes only use 2 rows worth of yarn. I think I've got enough even when the sweater is at its widest before the split for sleeves to get across over and back. I've picked out a new color order that I'm really happy about, and I've been squirreling away on that since I've gotten back as well. The colorway for this yarn is called Cloud Gray, and I picked that color as it's pretty much a neutral and will not clash with any of the bright colored stripes. And then it makes incorporates these bright colors into a neutral garment, thereby making the bright colors neutral, if that makes sense. I think everybody's probably seen Amy Gillet's book Neons and Neutrals that was published by Lina. It was a little bit of inspiration for this project. Yeah, but I'm super excited. Already cast on. It's been really fun to make so far. I'll talk about that more in a future episode, so we'll leave it there. My next purchase, which is actually a Sunday purchase. I don't know what it is, but do you get FOMO when you're leaving a yarn festival and you're like, no, I need more, even though you've already bought like your budget worth of yarn? Anyway, I saw this, which is the Bendigo Woolen Mills Rustic Tweed in 8-ply. And it's the colorway Linen. And it's just got this beautiful muted brown, brown tweed flecks through it. I love their tweed yarn, but I find some of the tweed nep colors to be a bit jarring. So that's why I liked this one. It's got much more muted tweed neps. The plans for this, why I bought this is because I want to make a maple vest by Yun Jong. It's a pattern that I've seen and had on my mind for a really long time. I love the split hem. There's a child's size pattern as well that brings the bottom ribbing detail up a bit further, and maybe I'll do that as well. We'll see how we go when I cast that on. It's not, I haven't cast it on yet, but who knows? There's always kind of a cast on frenzy after these yarn shows because I'm so full of inspiration, and we'll see what clicks. But I'm looking to my left at my whip tree, and I'm feeling a bit bad about some of the projects languishing over there as well. So maybe I'll do a finish or frog episode soon, and I can make some decisions about what I'm going to do with some of those projects, because it's yeah, they've been on my mind. Anyway, vest quantity of rustic tweed 8-ply in linen for the maple vest. I'm gonna really enjoy making that too, I think. The next purchase is probably the only, well, I probably planned really 2 purchases, and this was one of them. It's from My Creative Garage, and when I saw Vanessa post this yarn, I couldn't stop thinking about it. And at the same time, Vera Valimaki brought out a pattern called the Elma cardigan, and it just looks so ethereal and soft, and I knew I wanted to make it, and I needed the perfect color. And of course, Vanessa delivered with this. It is this beautiful lavender Suri Alpaca and silk with neon neps. There is 400 meters per 100 grams in each of these skeins, and I have enough then to make the Elma cardigan. And yeah, it is so soft, and I think the Elma will be a beautiful spring garment, so I might have to cast that one on soon too. I need more knitting time in my life, don't we all? Anyway, Vanessa, thank you for making such gorgeous colors, and this haul video is dedicated to you because you wanted a haul video. The colorway is Neon Haze. If you want to pre-order, I think Vanessa's doing some might be doing some dyed to order or pre-orders if you're interested. But, ooh, loving that. What's next? All right, the next thing I bought wasn't a planned purchase at all. We all know how much I love this high-fay yarn that I use to make my Noble sweater, and it was made by Fibre Arts Shed, and I have another sweater quantity of it that's being planned for a cardigan. And when I was in it was actually a tent that I think used to be a shed. Maybe the shed had to come down because some of those sheds are pretty old. For those people who don't go to Bendigo, the yarn sellers or fiber sellers are generally housed in these farming sheds, and it's beautiful rustic space. It can be a bit cold depending on the weather, but this particular one was in a tent down by the main gate. maybe not the main gate, it's the main gate that I drive through. Anyway, they're called Flock and Fibre, and they are not on Instagram, they are on Facebook, I understand. It's a Corriedale farm in, I think, central coast of New South Wales, and they have their fibre spun by Fibre Arts Shed. I think there's a couple of other mills that do their fiber, but this really caught my eye because it has, can you see that? All of these beautiful Sari silk neps, and they are mostly pink there. That's a pretty good, accurate representation of the color. The yarn is called Funfetti. Thank you, Paul, for spinning such a gorgeous yarn. I saw it and I had to buy a sweater quantity. I own a pattern called the Astrid sweater, which is a knitting for olive pattern that I won in a giveaway by, I think it was Palm House Knits. So I should say everything I talk about will be in the description box below. So you'll have links to, well, maybe not a link to Flock and Fibre because I'll have to try and find one, but everything else. But the Astrid sweater, which is a really relaxed sweatshirty, I think it's a raglan with a curved hem. And this is gonna be fantastic. It's like elevated gray sweatshirt with pink neps, totally down my alley. So I bought a sweater quantity of this. It was a bit more expensive than the Fibre Arts Shed yarn itself, but I thought to have experience with knitting with Corriedale and supporting different breeds, because while I love Merino, I also love to see different breeds and knit with different yarns other than Merino. I don't know about you, but Merino's gorgeous. And I suppose if I only had to knit with one, if I could only knit with one fiber for the rest of my life, I probably would pick Merino. But it's nice to switch it up for a change. And look, it's got the same color tone, color vibe as my Noble sweater, which is what I'm wearing. But it's got the kangaroo paw pink vibe, doesn't it? It's fantastic, and I can't wait to knit this one either. Funfetti from Flock and Fibre. All right, that was the first bag. And these bags, which are Project 10, came in really handy. They were the presents that I brought for my friends in our house. We do a little Christmas in July night where we do presents, just little presents, and I thought it would be so fun for us all to have matching bags at the show, so that was my contribution. Now on to bag 2. Maximoo is nailing the solid tonal colors, and I'm totally there for it. Color is Ice Core. It's in his luxury sock, which is 85% merino, 15% nylon, 400 meters in 100 grams. Beautiful squish factor. In the week leading up to Bendigo, I made a list of projects that I wanted to purchase yarn for, and I left that list at home actually. And I was kind of kicking myself, but Friday night I remembered that I had wanted to look for yarn to make the Bow Bow shawl by Isabel Kramer, and I wanted to do it in something quite fun because I've seen some beautiful multicolored examples of it, and I thought that would just be fun in some bright colors. So on day 2, I went back to see Vanessa at My Creative Garage and got this colorway. These colorways, I suppose, is the more appropriate way to refer to them. This is going to be the main color. It's called Gazelle Pink. It's blowing out, it's so bright, it's beautiful. Then I'm going to hold that with Matcha and Pucker Up, which is this beautiful lipstick color. I feel like there's a pink theme definitely through my purchases, but That's going to be a beautiful bow shawl. These are standard 100% fine superwash merino, again 400 meters per 100 grams, which makes them a solid fingering weight, at least here in Australia. So they're so happy together, aren't they? Love these colors, and they're going to be my bow shawl. Maybe I can finish it before Bendigo next year. In my bag now are some of the beautiful gift skeins that I received from my friends in our Christmas swap. These beauties were from Marina, who dyes yarn under the brand of Strawberry Patches. And these colors are amazing. So this one is one that she dyed up specifically for Bendigo. It's a 75 merino, 25% nylon. It's her sturdy sock base, 400 meters per 100 grams. And this is definitely going to be a pair of socks, maybe for Bendigo project next year. We'll see if I can wait that long to cast them on. The colors are just beautiful. Yeah. Whew. Then this one, I love it. I've never knit with boucle before, so I'm super excited and interested to see how this knits up. This is, the colorway is Velveteen. It's an 8-ply boucle, 100% merino base. I'm thinking maybe a beanie pattern for that one. Unless I can find another merino that I can use to make maybe a Melbourne shawl by Kath Martin, which uses 2 skeins of, at least the small version I think uses 2 skeins of DK, although this might go a bit further. I'm just not sure because I haven't knit with boucle before. If you have, let me know in the comments whether you think boucle has kind of generous meterage. But I think that would make a delightful beanie. Again, maybe a Bendigo project one. Anyway, Marina was super generous because she also gave me this skein, which matches the same, I think it's the same base as, oh, it's a little bit different because it's merino and alpaca with the neps. But I was thinking if I run out of yarn for my Elma cardigan, I could do the hem and the cuffs and the button band in this color, which would be even more spectacular, I think. I'll have to see. Maybe I'll plan to do that in any event. But this is a beautiful pink too. Then these are some more gift skeins I got, which actually really match well together. This skein from Rainbows and Sprinkles called Easter Treats, and these other beautiful minis, including this one from Heather Made. They just look fantastic together. And so much inspiration. This is stitch markers, a little sakura flower. Can't wait to knit with these. Then I have one more gift skein, which was this Isayer silk lace weight yarn, and I can't even tell you how soft it is. I could just sit here and pet it. It is 100% mulberry silk. The colorway is navy. It's got 210 meters in the skein, so I could hold that with any DK weight to bulk it out, bulk it up to a worsted weight for like a beanie. I've also got some other navy blue yarn that I could actually hold it triple. I've got some plans for that, so we'll see. Maybe another beanie. It's so soft. Isayer mulberry silk. Back to the purchases. Now, bombed yarns. Another gorgeous pink color. Been after solid color sock yarn, and I really wanted to get one from Sarah because her base, the Dynamite sock, is 75/25 merino nylon, And I used this yarn when I co-designed the Alma sock pattern with Susanna Kartinen from Sana & Co. And it is probably the sturdiest sock yarn that I have in all of my socks. It's held up really, really well. And for my solid color sock knitting plans, which I have, and might not start till next year, but that's okay. It's gonna be here waiting for me. The color name is Bubble Yum. I suppose it's a candy pink, so I just love this color, and it's gonna make a great pair of socks. I think while it's dark, I think it will still show texture, so we'll see how that goes. But yes, more sock yarn. The more sock yarn, the better, right? And speaking of which, here's another one. This is, I think, so this yarn is from the Woolly Goose. The colorway, I think, was Vintage Vibes. And it is 100% Australian, 75% Merino, 25% nylon, 400 meters in the 100 grams. I knit Woolly Goose yarn when I made my Celadon socks by Ali Payne from Fibre. This dyer is out in the Festival of Lamb Pavilion. So unless you go to this other pavilion, which is not divorced from the other pavilions, but you wouldn't necessarily go there. It wouldn't be your first stop for yarn, but maybe it should be, because this yarn is so plump, and the colors, she's got incredible colorways. The yarn knits up so plump for me because I'm a loose knitter. That really helps my gauge. So if I knit this, I can get away with knitting it on a 2.25, but if I knit it on a 2, which is where this needle size where I knit my socks the most, I get a nice dense fabric. And again, the colors are fantastic. The last skein I had, there was no pooling at all, and I'm not a fan of color pooling on socks. Some people love it. I don't love it, and that's okay. Anyway, I'm anti-pooling, and the socks that I've made previously with Woolly Goose yarn didn't pool. So again, I'm very excited to get some socks on the needles. I've got a few pairs that I need to finish up, including my Noosa socks. So I'll be doing that first, but then I always like to have a pair of socks on the needles. I did get a self-striping skein. I told myself that I wouldn't, but on day 2, when I went back, I think it was day 2. It was either day 2 or very end of day 1. I had seen this colorway on Instagram. The pinks really appealed to me, and when I initially had gone to the Cola Girl Collective booth, they were having some real technical challenges with their tent and water, and so I wanted to make sure that if I went back and they had it, that I would get it. So I did. I got this one. And I just love the pinks with the gray, and that will make a beautiful pair of socks. So Cola Girl Collective, colorway is called Trixie. It's a 75-25, 400 meters per 100 grams skein, and very cute colorway. We are getting close to the end, but what I might show now is the beautiful bag that I got from Vanessa at My Creative Garage. I wanted a really large bag, and this one fit the bill. It will hold a blanket project. I can tell you that because I've got quite a few skeins in here already. The rest of the ones that I'm going to show you, there's inside pockets, 3 of them, which are quite generous. Oh, here's another thing that I got. 3 pockets, very generous. There's a drawstring. It's thick, it's sturdy, and I love the blue flower fabric. So this bag called my name, and came home with me. Another shout out to White Rabbit Handmade, who had the cutest notions. I got these stitch stoppers, little pink llamas, as well as some koalas, which I'll have to show you another time. They're in another project, which I have no idea where it is, but I'm already using them. And then I just picked up some light bulb stitch markers from her as well. So thank you so much for having the basics and really cute notions. I found them the morning of day 2 as well. So really happy with that. Talking about yarn like this just makes me want to sit and knit all day and ignore all of my adult responsibilities like laundry, but we all need clean clothes, so I won't be able to ignore that forever. I'll also get hungry at some point, so I'll have to go to the shops anyway. But in the meantime, we can look at some yarn. And this is another skein that I bought at Bendigo Woolen Mills. It is their multicolored sock yarn. And it is, I'm not sure what the colorway is, Warm Sunset. And this, again, is going with my pink theme that transcended the entire weekend. So this will become a pair of socks at some point too. The last purchase was a bit of a splurge, but it's for a blanket project, and I'm going to be putting quite a bit of effort into this blanket, so I might as well have a beautiful end product. The blanket is another advent that I'm using up that had different color stories. I can actually show you what I did. For each of the color stories, I separated them into their own little bag. So these are kind of the blues. These are sort of the rusts or the peaches and browns. There's several of them. These are the purples. And I took them with me into Bendigo Woolen Mills. This was, again, a Thursday purchase. And I got Mohair to match each of the color stories. So I had to get 2 of each just to make sure I had enough of the meterage. So I bought 2 of, I think this is the ash colorway. Yes, this is the ash colorway. This is going to match, I'm going to hold it with a gray yarn from Great Ocean Road Woolen Mills. That's going to be the ends, so the borders. And then I think there's a couple of, it's for my Go-Go Throw, actually, by Amber O'Brien. So there's a border and then different color blocks that are separated by a few stitches of the main color, if you call the border color the main color. And that's going to be ash gray. Then I've got 2 skeins of, this one is called Damson. I've got 2 skeins of Bluebird. Let's see if I can hold one of each colorway. You'll be able to see how that's gonna look. I've got the colorway Spring Lilac. I'm already loving how this is going to come out. There's one, this is called Alabaster, so it's more of a white. Then I've got Marshmallow, which is this pale pink, and finally this last one called Celadon. It's like a celery color. So there's all the colors that will be in this blanket, and it's going to be scrumptious. Again, I hope to have it done before Bendigo next year, mainly because at Bendigo my friends helped me to weave in the ends of my rad vent, and without them I probably wouldn't have finished. Anyway, so they can help me weave in the ends of my Go-Go Throw as well. Just kidding, girls. I'll try and get that done on my own. Anyway, so that's it. That's all my purchases. That's my haul from this year. And Thanks for watching. If you've liked this video, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing if you want more yarny goodness content. I've got another episode coming up soon. Obviously something is happening downstairs now because Murphy's barking. I think that's a good place to end it. We'll talk to you soon. We'll see you soon, and until then, happy knitting.